Thank you, thank you. All right. Thank you.
You're so welcome. It's going to be good.
Okay, awesome. All right. So I have Maura with me. She's a real estate investor. She's a mom. She's just overall a wonderful human being, and I wanted to interview her. So Maura, tell us a little bit about you.
So I am a real estate investor and an investor-focused agent in Alabama. I have 2 toddlers. Before I got into real estate, I was in the Marine Corps for 10 years, and I've been doing real estate full-time for the past almost 8 years.
That is so cool. So the Marine Corps, tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, it was crazy. I was in the Marine Corps for 10 years. I was a logistics officer. When I was in college, it was during the height of the war. I was studying international affairs and Arabic, and I was a little bit of a crazy, wild person when I was little, and I wanted a job that was both mentally and physically challenging, and there's not that many of those. I was also a college athlete, so I met several veterans, especially Marine veterans that were coming back from the war. My school was in Washington, D.C., near Walter Reed, and they encouraged me or saw something crazy in me and encouraged me that they thought I would like and be successful in the Marine Corps. And ultimately, they were right. It was the best job I'll ever have. But it was the best job as a young person. Then I met my husband in the Marine Corps, and at a certain point, we wanted to have a family, and both of us were active duty, and we, at the halfway point, we had to make the decision, like, are we going to be married to the Marine Corps, or are we actually going to have a family? So we had to make a plan to transition out of the military into a career path that would offer some, both career fulfillment, but also flexibility, so that I could be the type of mom that I wanted to be. And we actually both landed on real estate. We both work in different aspects of real estate, and it's been amazing in that aspect. I love what I do every day now, but I can also be there for my kids. I have the flexibility. If I want to go do something with my kids, if my kids are sick, I can drop everything and be there for them. And so I think that real estate especially real estate investing, is a really great career for women because we have so much to balance. A lot of times, like, the bulk of, all the family stuff falls on our shoulders. So trying to find a way to, have professional fulfillment, contribute to the family, also take care of the kids in the house, like, it's a lot. So you need a job that really offers flexibility, and real estate, especially real estate investing, is one of those careers.
I love everything that you've said, and it's so beautiful because women in real estate and women in real estate investing, I think that there's so much opportunity for us as women, and a lot of times we're intimidated or we think it's a little bit scary, and you took the jump, and it's had such an impact in your life and your family life. Tell me, honestly, that's something I want to know more about as a mom and as a real estate investor. What is your experience like on a day-to-day basis?
Great question. Well, of course, probably like you experienced, there's no typical day-to-day, but I'll go through a little bit of what our routine looks like. So, and the way we make it work is our way. It's definitely not the only way, but basically it's myself, my husband, and our nanny making it all work. So my kids wake up at 5 a.m. every day. And so I play with them, get them dressed, feed them breakfast. So from 5 to 8 a.m. And our nanny comes at 8, and then I quickly get dressed, ready, and go to work. They go to preschool for a few hours. They go to preschool from 9 to noon. And I go to work. And now, I used to work in a home office. I actually work in an office, a real office now, just because working with your toddlers screaming in the house turns out that was not the best work environment. So then I go to my office. It's me and my executive assistant in my office. Then we have my partner and our property manager up in Birmingham, and we have a remote team of 4 other people from Mexico, and we're all working on whatever the problem of the day is that day, whether it's a problem with construction on one of our flips, whether it's like a property management issue, or us working on our rent-to-own program. The problems change every day, which makes it fun and interesting, but we'll usually try to spend a few hours in the morning working on like office or admin type work. And then usually I try to mix it up usually with something out in the field. I still like and do a lot of our construction and project management. So then I'll go, out to the sites, or maybe there's some agent task. Maybe we got to go look at a house, and I'll do something out in the field in the afternoon, wrap that up. I'm home by 4:30 to play with the kids for a couple hours, make dinner, switch into mom shift mode. And then they go to bed around 7:38, and then there's 10 minutes to unwind, to breathe, and crash for the day. And that's kind of just roughly what the days look like, and they're crazy and fun. That's it, though.
Oh my God, I don't know. Oh my God, you were like Superwoman. Everything that you've said, you do in one day, that's insane.
It is crazy. I'll tell you, it's crazy every day, but it's very fun. It's very fulfilling. I think that's the important thing. It's I do truly love what I do. I think if I didn't, it would be really draining.
Yeah.
And not that there aren't tough or draining days, but most days I do wake up energized and fulfilled by my work, which
I love that.
Makes it worth it.
I love that. I'm sure this. I think yours turned up, but it's fine. We'll work around it. Oh no, it's good. Okay, perfect. Okay, so why real estate, right? I know you touched on it a little bit, but why real estate?
So I was really, really lucky, and my parents are real estate investors, my dad and my stepmom, and they have grown their real estate business into an absolute empire. They're at the top level of the game. What they do now is they build luxury homes for the 1% of the 1%, and they reinvest the profit into apartment complexes and mixed-use retail and residential complexes throughout the U.S. So, but, I kind of watched on the sidelines. I watched them build it. They weren't always just at the top. I watched them build their business over 20 or 30 years to where they are now, and kind of got to see the lifestyle that it built for them. So when I was, I went off and totally did my own thing for 10 years in the military, which I'm so glad that I did that. But when I was making a pivot, I was so lucky to have seen that example, kind of secondhand, of how real estate could work and build a life and a lifestyle that was appealing to me. So I'm super fortunate. I know that I'm one of the very few people that grew up with this example, but that's how I knew about it, and that's why I chose it.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you took a completely different path and then found your way back to real estate. How do you think your experience with that path, right? Spending 10 years in the military, how did that impact you when you came into and transitioned to being a business owner and being an entrepreneur pretty much?
It's helped me so much. It's helped me every day. I think the most important thing that I took from the military is that there is no failure. There is no option to give up. Because in the military, as a military leader, when you get a mission, there's just no option of I'm not going to do my mission. I'm going to give up. Everybody is relying on you, and it's just not part of the Marine culture to not do your mission. You just have to find a way, and that's ingrained in you. And you, of course, you face a lot of different obstacles, challenges, but it is drilled into you that you must find a way. You must find a solution. There is no giving up. And that was so important, especially at the beginning. When you're starting out in real estate, I know that sometimes on social media it looks like, oh, this is so easy. It's so simple. You just, decide to start and you can have a nice rental portfolio. No, it is not like that. It is very hard. Starting your own business is hard no matter what field you go into, and you're going to encounter a lot of obstacles and a lot of challenges. And I think coming out of the military with a very, I guess, resilient mindset helped me so that when we had all these challenges, especially in the first year and first 3 years really, it was just never even an option that I considered that we would give up. It just wasn't part of my programming at that point. And that wasn't the same for everybody on our team, and that was really an important role that I had. Like when we had these major challenges, I was like, of course, we're going to overcome this. We're going to figure a way out. So that was really important. Also, you just learn a ton about leadership in the military. You learn to lead and coach people from all different walks of life. People from all different circumstances. You have to figure out how to coach them, lead them through personal issues, professional issues, and that is always helpful because this is a totally different environment, but still it's my job to lead and motivate and inspire everyone and create a place that people want to work every day. So I could go on, but the military was extremely helpful and influential in, what little success that we've had so far.
I love that. And you're being humble. You're being humble because I think you've built something really special. And when I spoke with you, and the reason why I wanted to sit down and talk with you is because you and your business partner, you spoke first about the people in your team and your purpose. And I think that's super, super impactful. It's more important than how many deals you want to do. It's more like, what is the purpose behind what you're doing?
Yes.
And that's like the number one thing. So I loved having this conversation with you. Tell me about you guys. What is the biggest purpose for you and your company with everything that you're doing?
Great question. Of course, we have these goals, these like metrics goals and these financial goals. But it's, that's not what gets me out of bed every day. And I know that's not what gets my partner out of bed every day. And luckily I came from the Marine Corps where you have a really, really strong culture. And obviously no amount of money is going to motivate people to like run towards the gun, towards the gunfire. There has to be something bigger there. So it really having a very strong team, supporting my employees, making sure that they are getting what they need mentally, emotionally, physically is extremely important. And the goals we set together, it just feels a lot more rewarding and impactful when we accomplish them, because it's like everybody is worked towards this. Everybody is working to accomplish this, and it's part of a bigger vision that we have. And it's still it's small. It's not like this big military vision, but it's small, but it's able to support 7 people and 7 families, and that's, for me, that's still like good enough right now. That's still impactful.
I love that. It's all about, and I'm sure the people in your organization are so lucky to have you as a leader.
I don't know about that.
Hey, one thing I want to give you props, and I think as women sometimes it's a little bit hard for us to just accept.
Yes, that's very true.
Just take the compliment.
Yes,
take the
that's
compliment.
True.
I mean, everything that you've said, right? You're a mom. You're a real estate business owner. You have a team of people that you lead. You come from this incredible background where you have discipline. You know how to build a team. You have that leadership skill, which is super important. So take the compliment. I'm giving you all the props because
thank you.
It's really impressive. I meet a lot of women that want to get started, just can't get their foot in the door, and they're lacking something. Like, if someone wants to get into real estate, what would you tell them? Like, what would be your advice? Like, hey, I want to get started, but I'm stuck.
It's very intimidating to get started. So I will just say that I know I was there, you were there. Mm-hmm. It feels very overwhelming to take that first step. You're like, I don't know everything about this industry. I don't know, how to do a perfect financial analysis of a deal. It feels like very uncertain and very unknown. All I can say is you just have to take the first step. And for the whole first year of your journey, it's probably going to feel like that. Like you're just taking one step at a time and you really can't even see where the next 3 steps are going to lead. But as long as you just take the next step, just focus on literally taking the next step. And so the first step could be just like, hey, I know nothing. I need a mentor or some sort of education to at least teach me the basics. That's probably a good step so that you feel a little more confident that, okay, now I don't feel like I know nothing. I know a little bit that I can get started. Maybe once you've invested a little bit, and it could just be like literally reading a book, like 1 or 3 books or listening to a few podcasts to give you enough confidence to feel like I know something and now I'm ready to take the next step towards my first investment, whatever that might be, whether it's trying to acquire your first rental property or do your first flip or do your first wholesale deal. There's no right path or right answer. It's kind of whatever's going to fulfill your personal and financial goals. But it's just taking that one step at a time, which takes courage. But I think you can probably attest to this. If you just take that one step at a time, you take that first step, you will be able to take the second step. And if you just keep going, someday you'll look back and you'll be 8 years in and you'll be like, oh my God, like what has happened? That was just taking the next step, even though you don't always know exactly where the path is going to go.
Yeah. And you mentioned just take the next step, just take the next step, just take the next step. And that's all it is to it. Real estate can seem really intimidating in the beginning because there's so much. But if you just focus on taking that next step, whether it's getting a book or getting a mentor or running numbers on one property, like you don't have to be here from the start. All it takes is little baby steps. You're a mama, so like as a mom, you're not trying to get your child to walk on day one.
Yes.
You understand that it's a process and it takes time and it takes nurturing. So that's the same process in business. You have your baby that you're building, whether it's one house that you want to buy or 10 houses, and then you're slowly learning and growing and building, and you have that patience and understand it's going to be a journey. Yeah. I want to get more women into investing. I think that's one of like my biggest passions and purposes in life. So what would you say to women, just women that want to get into investing? What's some advice that you would give them to get going?
I love that. I would also love to get a lot more women into real estate investing for a million reasons. Like what we already talked about, it's a career path that can help you have a great life, no matter what it is, whether you want to have a family, you don't have a family, it just gives you the flexibility to do what you want to do. It gives you financial freedom and control, which I think is really important for women to have. So I think it's so important. And maybe, I do think there's a lot to finding a mentor who's doing what you want to do. And I think maybe if you can find another female mentor, that might be a little bit better because maybe it's someone that's trying to balance a lot of the same things that you're balancing. Because let's be honest, we're here at a conference with a lot of men.
We're like
predominantly men.
5 women,
yes,
and all men.
Nothing wrong with that. You still learn a ton, and it's great. But they're not always balancing all of the things that we have to balance and manage as women. They're not getting all the texts. I guarantee there's not getting text messages like I'm getting, like, oh, does our daughter have dance today? What does she wear to dance? Like, what time is preschool? That's, they're not, maybe not balancing the same sort of mental load, which is totally fine. But I think if you can find a mentor that was in your shoes and is someone that you look up to, maybe is doing what you want to do, that would be a great place to start, because hopefully they can just encourage you and help you overcome some of the inevitable obstacles that are going to be in the way, and maybe it'll be just a slightly smoother, less rocky path. And we can build a community that is kind of uniquely able to support women in the unique issues and challenges that we have. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think?
The community's coming. It's coming. Yeah. I want to build something really special with women like you that are crushing it in real estate and really inspire other women, whether you want to start a family, which is where my path is taking me, or you have a family. I want real estate to really help us as women build a balanced life where we can have goals, because we still want goals. We still want to be successful in business. We still want to invest, but we want to be, a mother, and we want to be successful at that too. And I think if we see real estate from the perspective of how can I help it allow me to really live the life of my dreams and have the time and the energy and the mental capacity to do all the things I love, I think it's really impactful.
Yes.
So we're working on this mission together.
Excellent.
To get women into the space. Where can people find you? What market are you in? And what kind of value can people provide to you?
Okay, we are in Alabama. We're in Birmingham, Mobile, and Baldwin County, so Central and South Alabama. But if you need something in Alabama, I probably have the person for you. You can find me at Maura McGraw on any of the social media platforms. My company is called Aidelys Properties, Duratus. You can also find Aidelys on all the social media platforms, and I would love to connect.
Yes, follow her. If you're not following her, she's incredible. You'll learn a lot from her. And if you guys are interested in doing any deals in Alabama, you're interested in getting into that market, she's a person to go to.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
I love this. Oh, you're amazing.
It was so good.
You're so good at this.